Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. And I got a great comment on a video that I put up a while back where I gave some advice for younger people that wanted to move to Thailand. And this guy has been an expat here in Thailand before. And I'm going to read you some of the things that he got into. And I believe I agree with pretty much everything that he's saying here. So let me just read what he's got here. Pretty interesting stuff. Number one, your interest in the country will diminish. And I can tell you for sure that is dead on, because over time, you grow accustomed to living wherever you live. I mean, I'm very comfortable here myself. Thailand, for the most part, 99% of the time now, Thailand is not all that exotic anymore to me. So while I love the place, it's not like somebody who comes here and your eyes are open and everything is new and exciting. Your interest in the country will diminish. Don't do anything that locks you in Thailand unless you can afford it in the far future and are okay with staying somewhere you consider just like home. Tourist visas won't keep you in Thailand through your whole marriage. Definitely not. Especially now. If you're not wise, you won't be able to afford a marriage visa, and even then, you need to ask yourself if it's really worth all that effort for the long term. Number two, you're going to likely be an English teacher. Now that is, I'm sorry, with that, maybe we disagree a little bit. That used to be the case for sure. Now, I think we're getting to the point now where there's a lot of people who, they have portable jobs. So the English teaching thing, yes, that's still a big one, but I think there are more and more opportunities to people to work for themselves. So, but he does make some good points. Make sure you're doing this being teaching English with an upward momentum. Document every job with a stamp from your school director. Maybe someday you'll want to use that experience at home or in a different country. The experience I could document from date to date gave me 8 years experience on a salary schedule in the U.S. I hadn't documented it. If I hadn't documented it, I'd be making a year one teacher's wage. And for the love of God, if you don't have a real degree, invest in one, even in Thailand. Funny how I'm telling you to invest in things. Just do it. I taught English many, many years ago, and I didn't particularly like it. This was 26 years or so ago. And it was a tough gig, meaning that, you work a lot of hours and you don't make all that much money. Number three, you're going to likely stop paying your government taxes because your job won't do it for you. This means you aren't paying into retirement or Social Security. Yes, that's true. This also means you will wake up in your 40s with nothing built up for your 60s, and Thailand tends to hire younger people for everything, even foreigners. Elderly folks don't get as much priority in an office environment and likely won't be hired because they don't want to have to show you the same respect as the Thai elderly in the same business. If you are a young person, you better build up some income, some tax money, some Social Security. You better pay something into that or you won't be getting any Social Security. Simple as that. If you didn't pay that tax, you don't have the retirement, now you're old. Oh no, your earnings have diminished. You have nothing to go back to. At home, your family is likely elderly or already passed away. You can't afford to stay in Thailand anymore, and you're going to have to go home in your old years to basically nothing. Why? Well, this happens to some people for sure. And that's why you need to make sure you don't come over here when you're too young. If you've earned some money in your 20s, in your 30s, then you may not have anything to worry about, especially if you're making some decent money. Every other foreigner coming to Thailand says, I sold my things, my house, and moved here. Very true. You have nothing to fall down into if you get sent home. Trust me when I say those years disappear in Thailand. It's like you're young forever until you're not. Yeah, he's got a point there. Sexpat life will eventually bite you in the ass. Those people who have good jobs that you became friends with as a sexpat, they grow out of it, and they aren't going to recommend a sexpat to anyone professional. They know you. Even though they were too, they want to distance themselves from that. Get on Tinder or go to coffee shops and find dates like a healthy person, and maybe you'll stay healthy physically and professionally. Long-term young people have more time to screw their lives up than the old sexpat. They don't have to care because they will likely get married and drink themselves to death on retirement funds. Number 6, you will get old faster than at home if you like to party. That's just what I'm saying here. And fortunately, I stopped drinking and stopped partying a couple of years after I got here, because if I hadn't, who knows? You don't start out with the trying to become an alcoholic. At least most people don't. But, in time, you spend enough time in the bars, you will become one. Alcohol makes aging more rapid, and you'll look like 50 at 40 if you aren't careful. Take it down a notch. That's definitely good advice, and something that I said, which is don't abuse alcohol and drugs. Thailand gives you too much opportunity, and it always makes you feel like you're missing something if you stay home. Yeah, that's FOMO, fear of missing out. Don't worry about that. Everything will still be there. It might change a little bit, but it's still going to be there. Alcohol and tobacco create a chemical bond that make quitting either of these dangerously difficult. They make you stay addicted to both. Fortunately, I have never smoked cigarettes, and I don't know about that. And while I did drink excessively occasionally, I like to tip one back in the day, I realized that the thing is the day after gets harder and harder as you get old. And before you know it, you're just an old drunk. Every food or night place you go to basically hands you something to drink. Every foreigner is going to push it on you. You got to control yourselves, definitely. Don't choose a girl just because you think she's sexy. Very good advice. Sexy girls tend to come with baggage, and they get old too. You can find yourself a cute Thai girl who isn't trying to pull you in a shopping center or open your wallet every day. You just have to stop trying to marry a model. I always thought you need to marry someone that you are attracted to and that has a good head on her shoulders. She had your best interest at heart. Keep in mind that no matter how sexy they are, they will eventually look like their old grandma you see in those Facebook posts with everyone whying them. Choose someone who will take care of you. Lose your Western ego and let someone love you, because like I said, you will get older, and by then, the only women you will get are the ones pulling at your wallet. Hey, that's something I've been saying for a long time. You get old, and I can guarantee you some hot 25-year-old is not looking at some 7-year-old guy going, I can't wait till he gets naked so I can see his saggy ass. It just doesn't happen. Number 8, you're going to want respect at some point. You aren't going to get it for the majority of things you do in Thailand, including your work. And I was just talking to somebody today, and they said, anytime you tell someone that you are moving to Thailand, or that you live in Thailand, or that you're traveling to Thailand, you always run the risk of people rolling their eyes, because in their minds, all that Thailand is good for is maybe whores and bars. And, while that's not the truth, some people, they just are naive and they have no clue about what other countries are about, including Thailand. You are a foreigner until the day you die there. You're always going to be a foreigner. You're never going to be one of them. If you built that momentum upward like I told you early on, you will be able to continue a better trajectory in life at home. And if you're lucky, you'll still have time to save for that retirement back in Thailand or any other country, and you won't have to work. This guy always has pretty insightful comments, and I think these are pretty telling as well. So, when you are making a move, if you're not coming over to work for a company, and even if you are, if you're coming to work for a company over here, you don't know how long that's going to last. So the very first thing you need to do if you're working for some company is say, hey, now I'm making money, now I'm earning, I better stash it as quickly as I can so that if anything happens, at least you can go home, start over again. That was one thing I did when I first came over is I made sure I had some money set aside so that if I had to go home and start over, I could. It worked out to where I ended up staying here, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for that insightful comment. Please feel free to leave a comment for me and let me know what you think. If you've got a great comment, go for it. Maybe I'll read it. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di leo, jerk and mai. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please check out the t-shirts online.